rose ceremony. What do I do with that?
Next week is the finale of The Bachelorette, and we're breaking down everything we know about the end of Tayshia's journey. Hey guys, welcome back to another Shared News from Home. We are so excited for next week's finale of The Bachelorette, and we're going to break down the latest teaser. But before we get into it, if you're new here, be sure to subscribe to our channel and ring the bell so you don't miss out on any future videos. As always, I'm your host, Fiona Zaring, and I'm joined by the wonderful Gabby Gonta and Avery Grooms. Hi, guys.
Hi, Fiona.
Hello.
We have so much to talk about from this latest teaser, so let's just dive right in. Obviously, we all know next week is Fantasy Suites, and there is always drama that comes with that.
Coming up next week.
Fantasy suites are this week. That time alone is so crucial.
So I can't even believe we're here. I feel like this season has been so crazy. Fantasy Suites, you guys, honestly always make me nervous. Gabby, are you excited? I mean, how do you feel going into next week?
I'm excited. I couldn't believe that next week is the end of Tayshia's journey. It seemed like it went by so fast. I know she only technically got about a half of a season, but wow, she's just come so far with these guys. And she's so right. Fantasy Suites is a huge step in being, a part of the Bachelor process. And she's going to get to spend extra time with these guys with the cameras off and just really learn more about them, see if the chemistry's there, and just progress their relationship. So it's a huge week for her, a huge week for us. I'm so excited to watch it all go down.
Yeah, I totally agree. This is my favorite point of the show, just because I feel like Fantasy Suites usually make the biggest impact, especially once the cameras go on and they finally have that moment to themselves. Because if you think about it, they've just been socializing on camera for most of the time. So that's when they really are going to get deep. And I think that's the make it or break it point. So we're getting close to the end.
Oh my gosh, we certainly are. And you guys are totally right. They get a chance to breathe. They get some uninterrupted personal time. And she's already in such a great place with all of these relationships. I think her decision at the end of this is going to be so difficult. One relationship we really saw blossom in the last episode is her relationship with Ivan. And it looks like he's really taking things to the next level.
Tayshia, I am undoubtedly falling in love with you right now.
It's an unbelievable two-night Bachelorette finale next Monday and Tuesday night.
So I am honestly not surprised at all that Ivan is falling in love. He's been so forward with his feelings this entire time. I'm really excited to see their journey continue. I feel like we've all been rooting for Ivan. How do you think he's going to do in the fantasy suite, Avery?
I think he's going to do great. I mean, his journey so far has been so stable. And I feel like each time they hang out with each other, it just gets better and better. And every time they do, it's just in a relaxed setting. Their first date was very casual. This previous date also was. It's just very chill, realistic moments. So they'll have more of that in the fantasy suite. And I just don't see it going wrong. I mean, everything with Ivan seems to work out perfectly. So I hope it goes well.
Yeah, we get another Bachelorette double header next week. And it's the finale. So it's basically, a Bachelor Nation lovers Super Bowl. So it's very exciting. So much content this week. It's going to be the same next week. I think Ivan is such a sweetheart, and it's coming down to the wire where Tayshia's going to be, waiting to hear from these guys how they feel about her, if they're in love with her, if they're falling for her, if they're there yet, so she can size it up with how she's feeling, in that moment. So I think the fact that Ivan is just really coming clean with her, because remember back in Clare's part of the season when he was just so shy and they were like, who is this guy? And he had some amazing conversations with her throughout the rest of the season. So the fact that he's just being so vocal and wearing his heart on his sleeve, it's going to do well for him next week.
I couldn't agree more. Let's just dive right into this next clip because there's so much to unpack.
I have the best day ever. Best overnight, if that's offered to me.
So it looks like Zach and Tayshia are having quite the date here. Clearly it involves paint of some kind. I feel like their chemistry at this point is so undeniable. He's been a front runner for such a long time. I could see Zach, really walking away the winner here. What are your thoughts with Zach leading into the finale, Gabby?
He's seriously a front runner. Like the other guys should be worried about Zach if they aren't. I think these two are such adventurers. We saw in this week's episode, they're just diving into the fountain and kissing, and now they're covered in paint. I think they're just like so excited about life when they're together and really down to do anything. So I think that's what, really attracts Tayshia to Zach, because he just has this fire and this, excitement for life and just saying, why not? Like, let's go crazy. Let's do this. So I think he's so mature and she really loves that about him too. So he's just extremely confident, especially seeing him with his family this week. He just exudes the confidence that Tayshia loves to see. And it's, maybe something that the other more quiet and shy guys don't have at this point. So that might be why Zach is standing out for all of us and for Tayshia at this point.
Yeah, I could not agree with you more. I feel like his confidence is so undeniable. And he was first kind of hard to read at the beginning, but I feel like she liked that. And now he's just a clear front runner because of their chemistry is just, I feel like they have the best chemistry compared to everyone else. It's just so clear when you see them together. So it makes me excited for them because I think he could possibly win this.
Totally. I couldn't agree with you guys more. I think that Zach is heading into this on such solid ground. But of course, it's totally understandable. The guys are a little anxious about these overnight dates.
It's a strange dynamic at this point. I have certain nerves and feel a little anxious.
She's gonna potentially stay up all night with another guy.
It's very tough. It's like the elephant in the room.
It is so tough. Every time we get to this phase, my heart goes out to everyone involved. I mean, she's in love with like 3 great guys. They're in love with her. It's just a difficult situation. They all seem to have so much respect for each other. I feel like one thing we've been saying about these guys all season long is that they're very mature. So I have a feeling that they're going to handle this awkward overnight situation probably in some of the best fashion we've seen. What do you think, Avery?
Yeah, I think so too, because the most intense moments are coming. We have fantasy suites, meeting the parents, and then an engagement. So they have to go through all that and then stay in the same house with each other when they know they're like spending the night with each other's girlfriends. But somehow they don't fight each other at the end of it. It's just a very weird dynamic and just so many emotions. And it's just so crazy to think about. This is the process for someone's engagement, but we've seen it work. So just hoping for the best.
I agree. Whenever we get to this stage in the show, I just think I would go crazy if I was in their situation because it's so strange. You're falling in love with this girl and, now she has the opportunity to stay overnight with you, which is great and exciting. But then there's still these other guys. And it's just like imagining them having a great time or being intimate, like whatever's going to go down in the fantasy suite, who knows? It's just like you don't want to imagine your girlfriend and the person you're falling in love with having a good time with anybody else. And especially these guys who you've lived with for the past however many weeks and are probably good friends with now. So it's honestly such a weird dynamic. Major props to everyone who has to go through it. I'm just excited to see what goes down and how these guys, come out of it on the other side.
Absolutely. I mean, we sort of started to touch on this, but like she is in love with more than one person. And she's not only in love with them, but like there's no question she's got such great guys left. It's going to be a tough week for Tayshia.
The fact that you can love more than one person at one time, it's been hard to navigate.
I feel like hard to navigate is like an understatement, but I will say she has handled herself with such grace. She is so like smart and like even throughout this entire thing. She's not one to make rash decisions. So I expect we're going to see her be put to the test. But in true Tayshia fashion, I have a feeling she's going to handle it like a champ. What do you think, Gabby?
I think so too. I think the one time that she's ever, had so many emotions and just broke down a little bit and was overwhelmed was with Blake when she sent him home, because she just saw how sad he was and realized, being the Bachelorette is hard and you have to break up with people along the way. And then she broke up with Riley immediately after that and saw how disappointed he was. and how his words were just touching her so much. So then that's when she really unloaded all of her emotions and broke down a little bit because, you know, in the end, she's such a nice, just down to earth person. She really doesn't want to hurt anybody's feelings, especially these guys who've done so much for her all season and put themselves out there. So I think if, you know, she has any missteps at all in the next 2 episodes that we're waiting on, it's just going to be because, like you said, it is hard to navigate and she doesn't want to break up with these guys, even though she has to get down to that one in the end.
Yes, totally agree. I feel like ever since she's gotten there, she's been so thoughtful about everything. She's been very considerate about everyone's decisions and she doesn't rush anything. I feel like we watch her really think things out and then make a decision. So I feel like as viewers, that's kind of like built this like trust. I kind of trust she'll make the right decision in the end just because she's been so smart about it up until who knows. But I really trust that this might go well for her because she's just so smart about her choices.
Definitely. Well, earlier we mentioned how Zach is a front runner, and I stand by that. I think he is. I feel like Zach could walk away winning this whole thing. We know they like to play with us in these teasers, but it looks like there might be a bit of a fight going down between the two of them this week.
This thing could be the bomb that just explodes everything.
There's a rose ceremony. What do I do with that?
So I don't know, you guys. They definitely like to mess with us, pull one over on us, do some interesting edits. I think, you know, if you watch that clip, you see she's wearing a couple different outfits throughout. But regardless, that moment through the window seems undeniable. She's upset about something. What are your thoughts, Avery? I was not expecting any drama at this stage in the game.
I know. I mean, based off our previous experiences, I don't really trust these teasers that much. Just because, you know, the edits are crazy. Even this one right here, she's in a dress and then she's also in a different outfit when she walks away from Zach. So I feel like they're trying to preview that there's going to be some type of drama and twist with Zach specifically, just to maybe end up with a total opposite outcome because they just love surprises. So I just don't want to like pinpoint that it might be one thing when it could be something totally different. But that moment through the window does look intense. I wish we could see who she was like yelling at. But I don't know. It just because Zach was in the other clip doesn't mean it was him.
My theory would be that she gets some piece of new information and is wondering now, you know, what do I do with that? She seems to be talking about a rose ceremony, so maybe she's made up her mind and then something else comes up that sort of throws a wrench in everything. And this might be a hot take, but I think Ben might show back up after we ended up saying goodbye to him this week. I think his feelings were so strong and he just let everything slip through his fingers. So after doing some reflection, maybe he shows back up and then that, you know, is the cause for just some more drama. Of course, they are like giving us nothing here in this teaser, but it could be a lot or it could be nothing. So we're just going to have to wait and see.
Totally. That's a really good point, Gabby. I read somewhere on Twitter that because of the COVID of it all, they can't just like put someone in a car, take them to a hotel, get them on the first plane. Like there is so much more to be considered that they kind of probably end up getting in that car, driving down the block, being escorted back to their villa. And they're just so involved in this bubble still. So it's interesting, like these twists that they keep throwing at us. Like I wouldn't be shocked if we saw it with Bennett and we saw it happen again because the circumstances are probably going to be the same. So I don't know. That might not be as hot as a take as we think. I will be so curious to see how that plays out. We definitely know there's going to be another emotional goodbye. We're going to have to keep whittling this down, and it's certainly not going to get any easier.
I never want to experience that heartache that I experienced in my last marriage.
I can't imagine saying goodbye to anyone else. I don't even want to think about who's in that car. I mean, if you had to guess, is there anyone that you think could be our next in line to go? I mean, do you have any predictions, Avery?
I think it could maybe be Brendan. I just feel like out of everyone who's left, he has stronger connections with the other guys. But I don't know because I wasn't expecting Ben to just get sent home either. So who knows at this rate? I just could tell she's really stressed. She has the pressure of the show, the pressure of having all these great guys, and the pressure of already have gone through a marriage before. It's just this decision is so crucial for her.
Same thing. I think she is getting really nervous at this point. I mean, she said it right there. She doesn't want to go through the same heartache she went through in her last marriage. So I think it's coming down to the wire, in the point where she is maybe seeing these guys' flaws or seeing where they're not ready to commit right at this point. And so that's going to scare her in terms of being ready for marriage and just really taking this step after only a few short weeks. So it's all coming down to it. They're really packing a lot in just 2 episodes because we have fantasy suites, her hometowns, and a proposal. Like, it's going to be truly so much to take in.
Oh my gosh, it is going to be such a roller coaster ride. And you guys, this last clip, we've seen it before. We're seeing it again. Tayshia's dad is worried about something.
Frankly, I'm worried.
I don't want you to be making the biggest mistake of your life.
Don't miss the special 2-night season finale.
So I don't know what he could be so worried about. She has such great guys. That's like the clip that's been haunting me all season. They've been teasing us with that literally, I think, since week 1. But I don't know. Who do you guys think who or what do you think he might be worried about? Is it just a question of, you've done this before, don't rush into it? Is it possible that he gets a really bad read on one of these guys? I mean, what do you think, Gabby?
I think it could be either of those scenarios. I think men and dads are so protective over their daughters, in general, that especially since she's gone through a marriage before and he's lived that with her, and now she's on this show finding a new husband in such a short amount of time. I'm sure he's just like, come on, this is, I know you're going through all the emotions, but this is a lot for a dad to handle too. So I really hope he does end up liking her top 2 guys that he ends up getting to meet. But there could be red flags that he has to address. And I think that's what's going on in this clip.
Yeah, I think just taking everything into account, he's more worried than ever. He watched her on The Bachelor and then also in Paradise on top of the previous marriage. So I think he's just worried just to worry that this can be another fail. And just the fact that it's kind of a speedy engagement. She can make one wrong decision and really end up regretting it. And I think he's just afraid to see his daughter hurt again.
Oh, absolutely. I mean, that's a great point. She is a Bachelor Nation alum at this point. She's been through it. And as a family member of hers, it's gotta be tougher and tougher each time to trust this, process that they go through. But you guys, it's so crazy. I mean, that we're going to have all of these questions answered literally next week. It is so exciting. The wait is truly almost over. I cannot believe we have made it. You guys, we want to know your thoughts, your final predictions. Let us know down in the comments. And if you haven't already, be sure to subscribe to our channel and ring the bell so you don't miss out on any other Bachelorette videos. As always, I'm your host, Fiona Zaring. I was joined by the lovely Gabby Gonta and Avery Grooms. Our handles are on the screen right now. Come say hi on socials. We can talk all things Bachelorette. Thank you guys so much for watching, and we will see you next time. Bye.